Vanakkam, a very warm welcome to Sadhana on S3. I am your host, Alisha Gayapasad. In today's show, our authenticity and newsfeed are certainly going to keep you updated on the trends of Hinduism. We commence the show by logging on into the virtual world with a newly established online group known as Gauteng Hindus, and then come back to earth through posture yoga with Dr Ansuyah Moodley. Also on the show is an intriguing Upanayanam ceremony where Rathan Kavan Governor joins the priesthood. Sadhana will play out today with a melodic devotional bhajan. The internet isn't the only technological phenomenon that's changed the way we talk. With places of worship uncertain about the closure due to the COVID-19 lockdown, religious rituals now get a digital makeover. With the migration of many Hindus to Gauteng, the idea of creating a Facebook group named Gauteng Hindus allowed fellow Hindus in Gauteng to connect with each other. Sadhana met with Mr. Lux Maharaj to understand how they integrate Hinduism in the virtual online space.
More than 10 years ago, I was involved in setting up something called SA Hindu Update. That was an email that was sent out nationally to around 20,000 Hindus online, and that had in there a list of all the events that was happening throughout the country, whether there was KZN, PE, Joburg, and so forth. SA Hindu Update was run together with a website called maharajgroup.co.za. We moved all of that onto Facebook. And now on Facebook we are running various pages, and all the events and more content is now being shared on Facebook. Although there's multiple pages, we tend to operate as a single entity. The main pages though are Gauteng Hindus. People were looking for information as to where to go, what time to go, where you can find a pandit close to you. So all of that information was provided on the website, but it is available now on Facebook and various other platforms. Alright, so Gauteng Hindus, the first thing, if you get onto those pages, you will see content that is appearing there from around the country. That is videos made by Swamis, talks made by Pandits, there's talks on Bhagavad Gita, on various Puranas, there's stories for kids and so forth. There'll be deep scientific information, astronomical information, because if you look at what it is people are looking for now, is they don't just want to know the ritualistic practice, they are looking for the scientific reasoning behind it. So what they want to know is something more than that which is just blind faith. Initially everyone used to go to the temple, and now because of COVID everything is now online. When the major events happened, you find that different organizations work together as one, and they would do an event such as Hanuman Jayanti, where multiple organizations all participate, and they've all worked together to create a program, a single event where everyone is involved in, rather than having multiple 20-30 different events happening throughout the day. It tends to be a more structured, more targeted, more united effort. Remember, we were also affected by the huge number of funerals that were happening during the waves, the first, second wave, and so forth. So we created a video, do-it-yourself funeral, Hindu funeral. The entire video went into absolute detail of the entire procedure, allowing someone that could not get access to a pandit but had to do a COVID funeral very, very quickly within a few days of the person passing on. They had that as a means to conduct the funeral themselves. In the same way, other pujas, whether that be Satnarayan Katha, Havan, and so forth, have all become online. If you look at Bhagavad Gita 646, it clearly states that knowledge is more important than rituals. What this platform is doing and what we are striving to do is education, and we are using this platform to distribute that kind of knowledge. We had participation not only from the four major Hindi, Tamil, Telugu, Gujarati language groups, but also from Bengali, Marathi, and other language groups as well. Most ancient religion, most ancient way of life, Sanatan Dharma is here to stay, and it will continue. It is everlasting, as the word Sanatan means forever.
Welcome back to Sadhana on S3. If you are looking for seated yoga postures to add to your practices, look no further, as Dr Ansuyah Moodley has got that covered. She displays one of 4 methods you could use in yoga to improve your posture.
Namaste and good morning to all of you. In yoga, when we do practices, there may be one of 4 methods in which we use, and that is either by standing, where we start with Tadasana, or the tree posture. We may do it in sitting posture, which we call Dandasana. Or you may be in your prone position, where you lie on your chest. Or you could be on your back, which we call the supine posture. So today we're going to do an asana in the sitting posture, and that is Dandasana. So let's get started. Very gently turn on your mat so that your feet are out in front of you in Dandasana. Very gently, your hands on either side, palms facing upward. Take a deep breath in and exhale. You may constrict the tummy muscles as well for greater impact, and release. Very good. So arms on the sides, very gently as you breathe in, take it all the way sideways to the top. Palms facing forward when you go all the way above the head. Strengthen from the waist upwards, so you feel that beautiful elongated stretch all the way from the waist through the neck to the head. Stretch those arms on either side, palms facing forward. Again, take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, extend the arms all of the way forward so that you attempt to touch the toes. If you find you cannot touch the toes, you may touch the knees or the shins or the ankles. And continue to try to move the body forward from the waist, taking the head closer and closer to the knee. For those of you that may find this difficult, you may use a yoga strap, or you can use an old tie, place it around the toes and use your palms to hold on to that and draw yourself closer forward. Very gently release. Allow for both the feet to stretch out in front of you. Spread the feet apart. We're going to go into the relaxation posture for Dandasana, which we call Sittala Dandasana. Take the hands behind you so that the palms are facing backward. Tilt the body slightly back and tilt the head backward. Make sure that from the toes to the head, the body becomes totally relaxed as you take a deep breath in through the nostrils, keeping the mouth closed. And enjoy this wonderful relaxation posture while sitting in Sittala Dandasana. Feeling all of the sensations throughout the body after having done these exercises. Continue to breathe deeply through the nostrils. Very gently, when the pulse rate and the breathing rate has normalized, get the feet together, straighten the body, hands again in front of you, and very gently back to Sukhasana. Namaskara Mudra. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Namaste.
Thank you for staying tuned. A sacred thread or Upanayanam ceremony is routinely known for being a Hindu sanskar, a rite of passage ritual where a young boy moves on to the next stage in his life. Sadhana had the privilege of witnessing this precious ceremony, but now when an ordinary householder takes on the vows to become a priest.
At the outset, I've got to say to you that Rathan was a miracle baby. Rathan has had many, many encounters with Swami. From being in school, Rathan never knew what it was like to cross over a road. But he jumped over the wall and started walking towards our house. And the next thing was I had a lady call me to say that they had my child with them. And I was really stunned and shocked and rushed over. And all Rathan could tell me was, "Mum, it was a lady with a long orange dress." And she held my hand and she said, "Stop crying, I will take you to your mom."
I've been a devotee of Bhagwan Sai Baba since birth, so I've been blessed to know him since I was born. Yeah. And in fact, my family is very involved, or was very involved in terms of the cultural background of this country. I think it was back when I was about 14 years of age, sorry. And I heard the small boys chanting what is known as the Ganapati Pratna, but I didn't know it at that time. And when I heard it, it just struck a chord in me. I played it over and over and over. And I started to learn on my own. And then it just continued from there onwards. I started to get a little bit more involved with learning from two gurus. Firstly, it started with Abhishek in terms of different intonations and pronunciations. And it now goes further with Ramana, where we go into more detail in terms of how each pitch is, how each tone is, what the proper sound should be.
It was a major thing, not just in his life, but in our lives as well, to support him and to be there with him. A second wedding, a second being born twice. They call it, the people now are twice born after they go through the ceremony. So it's almost as if it's a whole new take on life now for him. We just want to wish Rathan well. He's got all our support in all his endeavors, whatever he needs to do. It's his personal calling. He's gone on this path alone. No one else in our immediate family has taken this path. So it's been his desire, his calling, and we're all just so proud of him that he's stuck to this and he's committed to it and he's dedicated to it and he's following through on whatever goals and dreams he has. So we just wish him well and hope to see him prosper, and we know he'll prosper.
And as he was growing, I knew that Rathan was not my child. He was Swami's child. When Rathan used to, learn Vedas, my neighbors used to call me and ask me if I'm having a havan at home. And who's the priest? Because they thought that there was a priest and I was doing a havan at home. But it was Rathan every Saturday morning rehearsing Vedas. And no matter what happened in his life, Rathan never gave up on Swami. He just grew stronger and stronger and stronger in his spirituality. Today has been a very proud moment. And I am so grateful to Swami for bringing this child up in his way, in his fold, and leading him on this path.
This is called the Upanayanam Ceremony. It's where you sit next to your guru and you obtain the ultimate knowledge. The ultimate knowledge is found in the Gayatri Mantra. Why the Gayatri Mantra? Because it has 4 different stanzas. So each line incorporates an aspect of the Veda itself. So this Upanayanam ceremony traditionally is done when a boy comes of age, which is usually between the ages of about 7 to 14. And the first 3 threads, or the sacred thread, being the Yajna Pavitanam, is tied on you to say that you are going into the line of Brahmachari. So you are taking the oath that you will now study the Veda, you will practice the rituals that come with it as well. It's actually a different chapter that's opening. So it's not the end of it, it's just a different chapter in life opening.
Sathya Sai Baba stated that devotional singing allows you to glimpse the beauty that is God, to taste the bliss that is the self. It encourages man to dive into himself and be genuinely his real self. Having said that, we conclude today's show with a touching rendition of Jo Prath Samay, performed by Rajesh Lakshman and Biplal Budin. From the Sadhana team, keep shining your beautiful divine light into the world. Jai Shri Ram.
आनंद की वर्षा होती है दुनिया में वही सुख पाता है जो प्रात समय उठ जाता है, जो प्रात समय उठ जाता है। भगवान भजन करने के लिए, भगवान भजन करने के लिए जो प्रात समय उठ जाता है, आनंद की वर्षा होती है, आनंद की वर्षा होती है। दुनिया में वही सुख पाता है जो प्रात समय उठ जाता है, जो प्रात समय उठ जाता है। भगवान भजन करने के लिए जो प्रात समय उठ जाता है। संसार की जिसने जान लिया, परमेश्वर को पहचान लिया। संसार की जिसने जान लिया, परमेश्वर को पहचान लिया। उस निश्चय मन में ठान लिया, क्या इस दुनिया से नाता है। जो प्रात समय उठ जाता है, भगवान भजन करने के लिए जो प्रात समय उठ जाता है। जो उत्तम कर्म कमाता है, नहीं मौत से भय वो खाता है। जो उत्तम कर्म कमाता है, नहीं मौत से भय वो खाता है। हंस हंस कर प्राण गंवाता है, वो सच्चा वीर कहलाता है। जो प्रात समय उठ जाता है, भगवान भजन करने के लिए जो प्रात समय उठ जाता है। नहीं निंदा सुन घबराता जो, नहीं मान के अंदर आता जो। नहीं निंदा सुन घबराता जो, एक सेवा धर्म कमाता है, एक सेवा धर्म कमाता है, वो ऊंचा भी उठ जाता है, जो प्रात समय उठ जाता है। भगवान भजन करने के लिए जो प्रात समय उठ जाता है। इस देश को कर कल्याण पिता, देकर शक्ति का दान पिता। इस देश को कर कल्याण पिता, देकर शक्ति का दान पिता। ना कर इसको हैरान पिता, ना कर इसको हैरान पिता। चरणों में शीश झुकाता हूँ, जो प्रात समय उठ जाता है। भगवान भजन करने के लिए जो प्रात समय उठ जाता है। आनंद की वर्षा होती है, आनंद की वर्षा होती है। दुनिया में वही सुख पाता है, जो प्रात समय उठ जाता है। भगवान भजन करने के लिए, भगवान भजन करने के लिए